cheaper ideas. I want to go f5, bishop e6, and f6. Aren't I went? Oh, Wesley said h7 is the dream square.
Well, the problem was bishop d7, and I think it's going to be the same problem here. Bishop d7, I think, is meant by bishop d1, and if you play f5, I switch back and play bishop g4.
Well, that's my point. When I'm not on e6,
e6. Sorry.
Yeah, right. But I'm not. No. When my bishop's not on e6, I go and look at that. In fact, what happened was the black bishop, was not going to be able, after Wesley's bishop h7, to hold up the pawn. Recognizing this, Lenderman retreated with his king and brought his king.
Great defense. Great defense.
To get into the square of the pawn. Now he's got an H pawn.
That's right. Great defense. Beautiful defense. Well done by Lenderman. Yes, you got what you could get out of it, but now it's my turn, and your pawn's going nowhere. You might get a pass B pawn, but the bishop on H5 will handle your pass B pawn or C pawn. But in the meantime, hello, welcome to the H party. Is Harry the name of both H pawns? Like, I know Harry the H pawn for white, but it seems like if you're black, you don't want the name Harry, because Harry is the white H pawn.
Right. You want to be Harold. Like you want to be a herald, not just a Harry, a Harold.
I'm going for Hakeem.
Oh, that's a
Hakeem. Hakeem,
like,
the dream
like
Elijah
Hakeem,
one.
the dream Elijah one. And that H pawn is a dream right now. It's getting the counterplay for black as the pawn flies down the board and says to white, sorry, you're not just queening yourself. You're going to have to respect my pawn as well. And
exactly.
It looks very much like he should be able to hold this. Now, that said, he can't afford to lose the C pawn without some kind of comp. Oh, well, this should be enough compensation. Bishop G2 is netting a piece, and it should be just fine for this bishop and king combination to draw this game.
Well,
that's right, Ed. By the way, we got a draw in Ramirez's game as well. So indeed, Jeffrey Zhang looking like he will be the sole leader after this game.
Well, which game was it from one of our earlier national championships? Wasn't it a ladies' game where one player forced the win of a piece for some pawns, but then the pawns went through?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, was that Talia?
Talia is what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just seeing echoes of that U.S. championship game where, somehow black bishop never really froze the pawns. Now, of course,
or maybe it was Annie versus Jen, potentially. I think Jen maybe was worse, and then suddenly Annie overpressed, and it was like a bunch of pawns versus a knight or something.
Right, something of that nature. Yeah, well, here we see the king is actually beautifully blocking the defending king. Now, obviously, if your defending king was on c6 and your bishop was on b5, it'd be no problem. But can we get there? I think we can.
Bishop b5 just played.
Whoa! The bar just went nuts.
I saw it.
Oh, no.
It went through the roof.
Oh, no. Did he blunder?
I'm sure he did.
His bishop was on the wrong diagonal, people. His bishop is probably on the wrong diagonal. But what else would you have played there?
That's confusing because now comes king b7, and I think it's over.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. He blew it. He should have allowed himself to be able to play bishop back to g2 to stay on the diagonal. Right?
Yeah, so you don't want to get up close because then not only you get tempeed once by the king, but you know what, guys? Really what he needed was 2 minutes because
he was down on his clock.
Or to have studied this endgame like a week ago just by fortune, right? Because it seems a little bit weird.
No, not a week ago, a long time ago. You've got to put end games like this in your pocket.
I meant reviewed it a week ago. Like,
Right.
because I no doubt, he probably studied it at some point, but if it's not fresh in your mind, playing it with 10 seconds left on the clock, very, very difficult. And indeed, Wesley, the second winner of this round. And I was just about to say, Maurice, you were right. They were all drawn. What a shocker.